A person is obligated to divide his study study time in three. One third should be devoted to written law, one third to oral law, and one third to understand and conceptualize the ultimate derivation of the concept from its root, inferring one concept from another, and comparing concepts, understanding the Torah based on the principle of biblical exegesis, until one appreciates the essence of those principles and how the prohibitions and other decisions which one received according to the oral tradition can be derived using them. The latter realm of study is called Gemara. Okay, so now we're going into different topics. So let's see. A person is obligated, from the beginning of his commentaries, a person is obligated to divide his study time in three. Commentary. Kiddushin Torah 8 states, a person should always divide his years, right? One third should be devoted to written law, right? One third to Mishnah, and one third to Talmud. In Halachah, so when we say written law, it means scripture, right? Mishnah and Talmud. In Halachah, the Rambam defined each of three categories mentioned. Right? What does it mean? In the following Halachah, he defines that what does it mean divide one's years. Okay. So that's what Talmud said, divide 1 year. So, but of course, that's not what we do, right? We try to learn all of the subjects at the same time. No, not at the same time, but basically even sometimes at the same day. You read the parasha, you read the Talmud, you read Mishnah, you read Halachah, Musar. There is no contradiction. So one more time from the beginning, a person is obligated to divide his study time in three. One third should be devoted to the written law. Commentary. The entire Tanakh is mentioned as mentioned in the following Halachah. Right. So Tanakh is Torah, Suvim and Navim. Right. So Torah. So five books of Moshe. Prophets and writings. So these three parts. Okay. So this is what they call written law. One third for oral law. So it's a Mishnah. Commentary. There is Mishnah, exactly. This is this is not intended to meet only the Mishnah authored by Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi per se, but rather halachic decision without being concerned. It's their motivating principles. Rashi Sota 22a. So basically, you can say this bottom line halacha. Whatever we learn, it would be under this category. So bottom line halacha without any explanation how they derived this halacha. As is obvious from the introduction to the Mishnah Torah, where he defines it as a collection of the entire oral Torah. So this is a collection of the entire oral Torah. The Rambam desired that his Mishnah Torah serve for this purpose, meaning the bottom line halacha. According to Sifrei Kohen, Hoshen Hamishpat 25:7, the Torah Mishnah applies to the halachic decision of the contemporary authorities as well. So whatever we learn in different books, it's according to this rabbi, it's applied also to the second, to the oral Torah. I mean, it is the oral Torah. Thus today's study of the text like Shulchan Aruch and the Mishnah Brura would fulfill this goal. Okay, it's very simple, very clear. So you learn Shulchan Aruch. So what we'll learn is a derivation of this, which is good. So one more time. One third he should devote to written law, one third to oral law, we just commented, and one third to understand. So all of this long explanation is about what Gemara does, right? Just so we know. And 1/3 to understand and conceptualize the ultimate derivation of the concept from its roots, inferring one concept from another, comparing concepts. 71. So meaning that's how Gemara works. You go to the bottom of the law and you trying to see how it was try to follow how our rabbis developed from Mishnah and how they derive this law. Commentary. Each law started in the previous source, is stated in the previous source, has elements which are specific to the situation described, and general principle of greater relevance. In order to understand the proper course of action to follow in the different circumstances, one must be able to differentiate between the two. In this manner, one will be able to derive new halakhic principles applicable to situation that were not described previously. So in few words, what it says here, so if you know just dry halacha, so it does not mean if the situation is going to change a little, they ask you, like wherever you learn about Shabbos kitchen, right? And you don't have all of these explanations, like the logic behind all of these halachas. So most likely, like the bottom of the bottom. So most likely we will not be able to derive to understand what is solution in this exceptional situation, right? So that's why we're trying to learn. I'm trying to give them even more insights what it says in that book, even though it's very amazing book, right? So we have the concept why we're doing this or that. So next time, if we have difficult situation, we will be able to derive the decision. Similarly, by understanding the process by which the halakhic concept is developed, one can understand how similar laws could be derived. Okay, so similar. Okay, note the Shulchan Aruch Harav. Okay, Hilchot Talmud Torah to 1 Kutres Aaron, which contrasts Rambam perspective on the issue with Rashi and Rabbeinu Asher. Okay, continue. Verse 71. So, inferring one concept from another and comparing concepts, understanding the Torah based on the principle of biblical exegesis. So, meaning what? We actually say this exegesis every morning, right? Before the Kaddish. There is the 13th principle of biblical exegesis mentioned by Rabbi Shmuel, Introduction to the Sifra. The 32 principles by Rabbi Elazar ben Yossi. But in our Siddur, in everybody's Siddur, it's 13th principle by Rabbi Shmuel. I mean, I apologize. I don't know if in every Siddur, but in all the Siddurim that I saw, it's there. Let's put it this way. Okay. So one more time. And one Torah to understand and conceptualize the ultimate derivation of the concept from its roots, inferring one concept from another, and comparing concepts, understanding the Torah based on the principle of biblical exegesis, which is commented, until one appreciates the essence of those principles and how the prohibitions and their decisions, which one received according to oral tradition, can be derived using them. So meaning that knowing the logic, knowing Halachah and logic, he can derive this decision himself, right? Later realms of study is called Gemara. 74 commentary. It must be noted that most original manuscripts and early edition of the Mishnah Torah use the word Talmud rather than Gemara. I'm not sure what's the difference. Okay, rather than Gemara in this and the following Halachah. This is consistent with composition of the text, which is almost exclusively in Hebrew with a little Aramaic terminology. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, no problem. So this author is trying to be very careful. So we translate it like that. So he compares different manuscripts and the different like printing editions of the Rambam. So sometimes it would be a printer's error, or sometimes they would miss some like misprint. We have to remember that all of this were done manually. So originally it was written by a scribe, and only when they invented the printing press they started the printing. Still it was manual. Okay, so we can stop here.